There we go. Okay, great. Hey, everybody. I'm Michael Passaro. I'm the Stage Management Concentration Advisor here at Columbia University and an associate professor here in the theater department in the School of the Arts. I just want to make sure that everybody can hear me and see me. I think we have a few of our registrants online now, so I can get texts from you as we're going on, and let me know if there's any problem with the audio or the video. I call this webinar sort of the greatest hits of the theater department stage management website. So everything that is in this webinar and in this PowerPoint presentation that I'm about to go through can be found in pieces and parts on the website. And we'll start first with an introductory video, and we'll go from there.
You know, many years ago, the stage manager was someone who was sort of behind backstage, sort of not to be seen or really heard, you know, whispering cues in the dark. That's been a wholesale change in how stage managers are perceived, and as such, the training that they need in order to succeed in the workplace has to change as well. The city is their classroom, and the stages that this incredible city has to offer, and the sort of peerless cultural institutions from Broadway to the Metropolitan Opera to the sound stages at NBC, those are the laboratories that our students get to actually learn in from working professionals, and they actually get to practice their craft, you know, in sort of the safety under the Columbia banner before they go into the working world. Students who are interested in coming to Columbia specifically for stage management recognize that there has been, you know, a seismic shift. Nowadays, the stage manager really is what I call a hybrid chief executive officer and chief operating officer for a production. I believe that the Columbia program and its rock solid foundation in technical skills and logistical expertise, combined with our very intensive leadership training program, gives our students a competitive edge once they leave Columbia. The people who work on a production are the most important asset to the production. A great stage manager, a great stage leader, really recognizes that fact and is able to manage those human resources to the best effect for the entire project.
So I stand by everything that I said in that video, and I would urge you to look at it again. It's on our website if you want to review any of the things that I said about the program. But many of you I know are looking at other programs to come to, including Columbia, but I think that there are many things that stand out about the Columbia program that sort of set it apart from some of our counterpart programs across the country. We're the only MFA stage management program here in New York City. In addition to the incredible faculty, which I'll talk about in a few minutes, we have the opportunity to offer our students, two of our third-year students, the possibility of gaining their equity membership through a relationship that we have with the CSC, the Classic Stage Company here. There are also other potential opportunities that you might come across in your time here at Columbia that may afford you the opportunity to join equity on your own volition, and also possibly add credits to your equity membership candidate program. We have a number of students now who are adding to their weekly credits in the equity membership candidate program simply by the work that they're doing as part of the program here at Columbia. I'll talk about the faculty in a minute, but first I will talk for a very brief time about myself. I have had the great good fortune to work in the professional theater for almost 30 years now. Actually, next month is my 30th year anniversary working here in the theater in New York. And it's been a privilege and an honor to be able to share the knowledge that I have gained over the years with the students here at Columbia. I've been the concentration director for 5 years now, and I am thrilled that the program has been able to expand and grow in the time that we've been here because of the quality and the caliber of the students that have chosen to come here. Some of the great things that we have achieved here have been, as I like to say, built on the backs of our students. We take very seriously their participation in making the program better and leaving a legacy for those who will come after them, and hopefully some of you who are joining us tonight. So back to the big question: why choose Columbia? The main reason is, I believe, the fact that the city is our classroom. That is not just a fancy marketing phrase or a catchphrase. Because we are located in arguably the center of theatrical production in the country and possibly the world, we have the opportunity for our students to participate in a variety of outside experiences that are part of the program, that count as program credit, but are done outside the Columbia campus. Just a few examples. We have a relationship with the Broadway show Wicked. One of our wonderful adjunct professors, Mary Beth Abel, who is the production stage manager at Wicked, has a class that's actually held at the Gershwin Theater where Wicked is playing. And she also takes some of our students as part of an internship program that she's had at Wicked for many, many years now. And both the students that you see here in this slide, Garrett Rollins and Kate Dial, have participated in that internship at Wicked, and now they are both working stage managers here in New York City. They're part of the class of 2015, and we'll hear a little bit more about them from them in a bit. Currently, I'm the production stage manager at Holiday Inn, which is playing at the Roundabout Theater Company at Studio 54. And it was an incredible experience for me to have 3 of our current students work directly with me as interns on the production. It was a great experience on both sides of the fence. I think that those 3 students were able to learn in an environment and apply what they're hearing about and learning and studying in the classroom in a real-time, real-world experience. It was also an incredible opportunity for me as an educator to see just how much what we talk about in the classroom has real practical application in the field. I was thrilled to see that synergy was something that we could create here at Columbia, and we are looking for many, many, many more opportunities to do that. Upcoming this spring, I will have the pleasure of being the production stage manager for the new Broadway musical, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And we're not going to have the same sort of internship relationship that we had with Holiday Inn. However, we are offering a class to all of the stage management students that will be completely wrapped around the experience of creating Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, from pre-production, from setting up rehearsals, to seeing how rehearsals work, The students will be creating paperwork and methods and systems in real time that will be used in rehearsals. They will be coming to observe technical rehearsals, dry technical rehearsals. They will be coming to observe understudy rehearsals, and they will be participating in a sort of a post-production wrap-up once the show opens in April. It's, again, a real testament to what I said earlier. You couldn't have that experience anywhere else but Columbia University, because literally Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is going to be a classroom for our students here. We have 2 students who have recently participated in some incredible productions at the Public Theater, and one of them, as I said earlier, earned enough of her equity membership candidate credits to become a member of Actors Equity Association. One of our recent graduates, Caroline Waters, who we'll also hear from a little bit later in this presentation, she walked out of Columbia University with one goal in mind, and that was to work at Cirque du Soleil. We were able to help her make that happen. We were able to have her do an internship during her last year here at Columbia, and as soon as she graduated, she was hired by them immediately. She has now, I think, begun her 2nd or 3rd production with Cirque du Soleil, and it's, again, another reason why that kind of relationship that we have with the producing organizations that are right outside our doorstep here in New York are able to benefit our students to get them work. That's the goal. The goal is not only a great education, but it's also to make sure that once you leave here, you can work. One of our students, again, one of our recent alumni, has been fortunate enough to be working with Disney now in Shanghai. He's one of the stage managers at The Lion King in Shanghai at the Disney park there. Again, all because of the contacts that he made here at Columbia University. And here's, again, my favorite phrase, and one that I absolutely 100% believe in. The city is our classroom. As I said, students not only walk out of here with an incredible education inside the classroom, they are able to supplement that and expand upon that classroom learning by working here in the city on projects and with professional organizations and in professional situations that really hit home what we're teaching in the classroom. So speaking about the classroom, just a little bit, the curriculum. We have, over the 5 years that I've been here, really honed in on 5 major areas of a study for the stage managers here, and they're listed on this slide. Leadership, skills and methodologies, history and literature, theater administration, and what I call new frontiers. I think it's incumbent upon those of us who are teaching the next generation of stage managers to make them understand that Broadway, fantastic. If that's a goal of yours, great. It should be a goal, but it's not the only goal. There are many, many, many other areas where you can apply and use your stage management skills. As I said in the video, you have to have a toolbox that you can take with you either around the block or around the world. And the whole New Frontiers portion of the curriculum opens up our students' opportunities and adds to their toolbox through learning about opera, dance, corporate events, television stage managing, experiential marketing events, and immersive theater presentations as well. My particular field of expertise, and the one that I try to spend as much time with the students on, is in the leadership area. I think it's important that we recognize that stage managers, it's not an esoteric skill and set of skills that happens behind a curtain somewhere in a dark theater, whispering cues into a headset. There's so much more to the job than just that. Of course, in our skills and methodologies curriculum and the modules and the classes that the students take there, all of those things are talked about. You must have a rock solid foundation in those particular areas of expertise. But what sets you apart and what sets us apart, I think, for some of the other programs is this emphasis on leadership. It's incredibly important that stage managers are able to, stand up, take the reins, at various times apply their chief executive officer skills and their chief operating officer skills, which is something that we talk about and herald as a part of the program, and you can read about that on the website. Again, we don't work as stage managers in a vacuum, so to have a foundation and an understanding and a recognition that where we came from and where we are and where we're going is part of the whole history and literature section of the curriculum. I am adamant that the stage management students participate in that, and especially the fact that many of the playwrights, directors, actors that they might be working with once they leave here at Columbia are working here in New York. So that they should, again, use that as a classroom, and they should use their skills and learn about the history and literature that's happening right out their doorstep, because they may be working with those very people someday soon after they graduate here from Columbia. And similarly, as I said, we don't work in a vacuum. We have to have an understanding of more than basic theater administration principles, trends, and standards, so that we can work within the parameters of any one of the venues that we might be working in, which is, whether it be Broadway, off-Broadway, regional theater, ballet, opera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. One of the other hallmarks of the program is that we insist, as part of the curriculum, that stage management students work on productions here at Columbia and also take an incredible class in their first year called collaboration. Stage managers and the skills that they have are very prized here at Columbia by their other student colleagues. They're the directors, the actors, the dramaturgs, and we put people together so that they can learn collaborating, not just in this collaboration class that Anne Bogart teaches, where she has all of the first year actors, playwrights, dramaturgs, directors, and stage managers, and she puts them in a classroom and she says, you have to make theater. And they do. And they learn how to hammer it out in the room, in the space, to quote the hottest musical on Broadway, in the room where it happens. That's where it happens. It happens in that room. Students also can participate in many other productions that are happening here as part of the department. And they're also required as stage managers to participate in 2 of the third-year director thesis projects every year. First as ASMs, assistant stage managers, and in their third year as the production stage manager. And those are all supervised along the way with input from the production department, from the stage managers, from myself, so that we can guide the students through a process here at Columbia that tries to mirror as much as possible what they might find out in the professional world. And speaking of which, not only, as I said, do you get to practice your craft and your skills here at Columbia, we offer, because of the relationships that we have here at Columbia, some really incredible outside external opportunities for you to work in the theater. We require that students complete 2 internships during the 3 years that they're here. And we also have a special program called Field Studies, which are essentially, to sort of summarize it, internships for credit. So if you wanted to expand upon something that you're particularly interested in and kind of, tailor make the program to work for you as an individual, we can make that happen. I use as an example, a few years ago, we had a student who was a stage management student who was very interested in learning how her stage managing skills could be used in television production, and she was able to get an internship at MTV, and she worked there for a semester, and she was able to sort of see that the skills that she's learning in the classroom as a stage manager have a great deal of use and are very prized in the television world as well. And there's a list here of a few of some of our most recent internships and field studies that some of our students have participated in, but we're also a little bit of an older list. We just recently had one of our students this semester, her first semester here, she was able to gain an internship on a brand new play that's being done off-Broadway, written by and starring Anna Devere Smith, a play called Notes from the Field, which is being done at the Second Stage. We were also able, again, one of our first-year students, coming into her first semester here, we were able to get her a field study at the musical Hamilton, where she was able to participate in and observe rehearsals for 2 weeks for some of their upcoming productions. Again, something that only we can offer here at Columbia because of where we are located in New York City. So I'm not the only one who teaches here. I'm thrilled that we are, our faculty here in the stage management concentration are all working professionals to a person. They are working on Broadway, off-Broadway, regionally. We have an incredible relationship with Ray Menard, who is the production stage manager of the Metropolitan Opera. He will be teaching next semester. In fact, we have a relationship with the American Ballet Theater, where students can learn about how to be a stage manager in the professional dance world. We have a wonderful program with Jim Semmelman, who is a television stage manager. He began his career in the theater. He now works exclusively in television, and he's able to, like no other person, really make the parallels clear to how stage managing theater skills can be used in television. We have a number of program goals, just very briefly summarized here. Expand your toolkit. Make sure that you can fill up that toolkit with as many practical methods and skills and systems as you can, and take it around the world. We want to make sure that you increase your contacts. And that's something that I think we provide our students with an unbelievable Rolodex. I know that's an old-fashioned term, but an unbelievable set of contacts where you can, any of your teachers, any of your professors who are teaching in the stage management program are working and can introduce you to assistants, other stage managers. If there's an interview for something that you want to go on, we likely know who's going to be the person in charge of that, so we can try to make those relationships happen. But those relationships also happen amongst the students that you are coming to Columbia with. I often say that nothing would please me more that if someone here at Columbia in the stage management program was able to develop a relationship with a playwright who's here now, or a director who's here now. And once you all graduate, that relationship holds, and you're able to sort of work with those people that you met here at Columbia. That can happen. That can happen right here because of the nature of how we ensure that all of the students from the different concentrations collaborate together. And finally, we want to spark your inspiration. Again, I personally find that the skills that we are teaching here, broadly defined as team dynamics, time management, and technical expertise, can be used in a variety of work situations, whether it's theater, education. We have one student from many, many years ago who works in banking, and they all tell me that what they learned here at Columbia in terms of stage managing are skills that they use on a daily basis. So that's something that I, again, firmly believe that the skills that we have as stage managers can't just be confined to a backstage area. They are broad-based, they are relevant, and they are prized in many, many work situations. As I said, we do not pay lip service to this overused word, collaboration. It's something that happens here on a daily basis, whether it's in the classroom, whether it's on Columbia Productions, whether it's collaborating between faculty and students on outside projects. It happens all the time here. This slide is a very sort of a view from 35,000 feet, if you will, of some of the classes that we offer here by year. It also changes because we want to be able to take what professors want to teach about and what they're good at, and what they might and when they might be available. So we are constantly tweaking the program to make it relevant not only to what the teachers want to try to impart to the students, but also what the students want. There are many of these classes that you see here, as I said, were born out of suggestions that the students had over the years of things that they wanted to learn about. We have a class coming up in next semester, which is going to be completely about automated systems for stage managers using programs like FileMaker, Final Draft. These are a StageRight. These are apps and programs that are out there now that are gaining more and more traction in the world of stage management. And we want to make sure that our students are able to know about them and learn about them here at Columbia so that they can use them once they get out into the field. Just a few fun facts about the program. We had 24 applicants last year, and we elected to choose 9 to come into the program. That's, I think, a record number of students, but it also speaks to the caliber of the applicants who are coming to us now. It's an incredible class. We have 16 now in the program, 9 in our first year and 8 in our second year. Since we just instituted the 3-year program arc, we will be having next year, hopefully another 8 or 9 to come into the program. 85% of our students receive financial aid, generally ranging in the area of $10,000 to $25,000 for the first year. And we have Julie Rossi here, who's the Dean of Admissions and Financial Aid. She can speak to some of those questions if you have them. But let's meet some of our recent graduates. Kate Dial. Kate graduated in 2015. She has gone on to work at Wicked, a revival of On the Town a few years ago. She has worked with me on Wolf Hall and is currently my assistant stage manager on Holiday Inn.
Hi, my name is Kate Dial. I graduated in 2015 from Columbia University's Stage Management program. The best thing about Columbia is that all their professors are working professionals, and our classroom really is the New York theater scene. What's great about Columbia is that although we are Broadway-centric, they really shape the program around what each class wants. So if you're interested more in corporate events, they can do that. Television, we even had a class in television. Really whatever you want to do, Michael Pissarro kind of makes it happen. What's also amazing is that the connections you make there translate into the work that you get when you graduate. So since I've graduated, I've worked on 3 Broadway rehearsal processes and 1 first national tour, just as an example. Really what you're gaining are these opportunities to work with professionals, and that's one of the best things about Columbia is the connections. you live in New York City and you're going to school in New York City, and that's the connections you're making here. So besides that, though, it's a really great program that shapes around the individual, not just the student, but about what you want to do, who you want to be, and they really listen to you as a school. And I think it's wonderful.
Garrett Rollins is a classmate of Kate's who also graduated in 2015. Garrett has gone on also to work at Wicked. He's also worked at the Manhattan Theater Club. He has worked off-Broadway on a musical called The Burt Burns Story. He just recently worked at the Westport County Playhouse and has also been working at the Public Theater recently as well.
The stage management program at Columbia has a lot of great strengths. I think one of the greatest strengths being its focus on leadership. And not only are you learning leadership strategies and theories, but you're also working with industry leaders from New York commercial and not-for-profit theater. Michael Pissarro's done a great job of bringing in fantastic instructors and guest speakers. So every day in the classroom, not only are you learning wonderful strategies and concepts, but you're also having a daily opportunity to network with people who have the power to influence your career and further your career. So every day is really a chance to prove yourself and to better yourself and to be in the room with amazing theater artists and professionals. So really it's a great way to, immerse yourself in the industry and in the theater landscape of New York City, as well as bettering your education as a stage manager. So I think that probably is the greatest strength of the Columbia program, is that you get to network and learn at the same time.
Caroline Waters, as I mentioned earlier in the presentation, is currently working as an assistant stage manager on Cirque du Soleil in Europe. She was so kind to come to class this year when the tour was in Brooklyn and New Jersey, and she brought two of her colleagues from Cirque du Soleil. They spent an entire afternoon with our students here and showed our students how they call the shows at Cirque du Soleil. She had a video and a calling deck with on the computer. It was a great afternoon.
Hi, my name is Caroline Waters, and I am an MFA graduate of the Stage Management program from 2014. Columbia definitely provided a very unique experience to me. It allowed me to discover, explore, and learn the type of stage manager that I am. And I think the most effective way of doing that was being able to have small class sizes. We had about 5 people in my class when I was there, and that allowed the teachers to cater information and discussions and sometimes course material to our interests, which became very valuable for us to be able to explore more. I also think that my favorite classes really had to do with leadership and management, mostly because I didn't really think it could be taught, and it definitely was taught. I learned a lot about leadership and management and your people skills, and learning about the kind of stage manager you are and who you need to work with to be able to utilize all of your skills at its best. That was something that I really enjoyed learning and really find it useful today in the practical world. We were able to network a lot in school. They really do let us go out and get jobs, and they give us the flexibility to be able to take work and also be in school, which is amazing. And really we could network enough to the point where we would be getting jobs outside of school. And I think that if I drew a line all the way back to Columbia from where I am today, I definitely could connect a lot of Columbia dots to where I am today. And it's really just, following your passion and leading yourself to a school like Columbia is like the first step to really being able to open yourself up to a world of stage management. If you are serious about stage management, you are going to want to at least think about this program, I highly recommend it, and know that, you know, if you go into this program, you will be able to have a lot of options open to you, and hopefully a very successful future.
So just before we take some questions, I know that you have a choice when it comes to where you might want to continue your education on the graduate level in terms of stage managing. I firmly believe that our program is sort of at the forefront in how we think about stage managing, and the breadth of and the depth of the program initiatives that we can offer here. I think that if you are interested in really pushing yourself to learn about yourself and what kind of a stage manager you are, and what you can contribute to either the theater industry or the entertainment industry as a whole, as a stage manager, that Columbia is definitely worth something for you to consider as you're thinking about which programs to apply to. I'm happy to take questions. I think they come to me over a text-based system, but there'll be another opportunity for you to learn where to find more information. But I'm happy to take questions for a bit. Doesn't look like there's any questions. Oh.
Type them in.
Oh, type your questions. Okay, Rich just said that. Just be, if you want to think about what questions you might have, or if the information, you want to sort of look over the information again. I believe this webinar is going to be posted in a recorded format for you to look at. But as I said at the very beginning, this presentation is kind of the best and the brightest, the greatest hits of what you can already find on the website, but we are happy to take questions through the email that I'm going to give you in a moment. There are some articles posted on the website. The 2016 and the 2015 Stage Management Year in Review give an overview of what some of our current students and alumni are up to. And there are other informational websites about the application and the admissions process as well. In general, though, if you have any questions, you can email the address below, or phone us here in New York. Our application deadline for next year is January 5th, 2017. All of the requirements for your application are clearly posted on the website, but we'd be happy to take questions by email or by phone. With that, thank you so much for joining us, and I hope to meet you at the interview process. Thank you so much.